Hey, it's Star Amber back again to show the VCLT I've gotten over the past few weeks or so. I call what I'm doing at the beginning like a Rob from Boston thing, because he always shows an item up close at the beginning of his videos, and all of a sudden I got this like urge to do it. So, and I thought that Bruce Fear No Arts, I'll put his link in the description. I think that his actual packaging is a work of art. I actually saw this cartoon before on Facebook, and I saw it on your Tumblr, Bruce, so I know you're into all those graphics and stuff, and I like that stuff too. And actually the one at the start, which I'm not going to show again because I'm afraid I'll flash the addresses, but that lady... she made me think like Robert Smith hair, or maybe like from the Addams Family or something, or got electrocuted. But that really gave me a good laugh. And so Bruce gave me 3 albums. Just one day out of the blue, he asked for my address and said he had a package for me. And I said, really? You know? I actually guessed that Sun Ra would be one of them just because of what we talk about. And I really do need to catch up on your videos, Bruce. I'm sorry. I really like what you showed in the video I watched, and I see you've made more videos, and I'm going to catch up after this. But, let's see. Oh yes, I have Sun Ra up front, which I did play in the Record Store Day video, and it actually stopped playing at the end, but anyway. I think this version is an unofficial release, like from maybe mid-2000s. I looked it up on Discogs. It plays great. And this cover, it actually reminded me of Stereolab a bit. Can you see it? It doesn't sound like Stereolab. Well, maybe some of the bits might, but anyway, this was a really good listen. It wasn't as out there as the other Sun Ra I have. It was just easy listening, and not in a bad way. I'm kind of out of it, trying to hurry up, because it's getting to that time of day when I have to worry about the bug issue I mentioned in the last video. I'll show the back cover. So yeah, this issue, even if it's unofficial, it's really good packaging. I hope to get more Sun Ra. I wanted the Record Store Day releases, but I was already spending too much, so I'll hopefully find them down the line, because there's always leftovers somewhere. And then, next was Meredith Monk, Dolman Music. This was completely new to me. I had no clue at all about this. I actually, sorry about the sound, open it, on ECM. I read the info in the gatefold. I liked the little silhouettes. It looks like a cat or something. I don't know, the ears make me think cat. So this is like, she has a classically trained voice. Some of it was a little out there for me, but it sort of reminded me of, I'm trying to think of the name, all of a sudden I blanked, that, Seascapes of the Interior. Sorry, I had to, that Australian post-rock band. There's a lady in that, post-rock group, and she uses those same vocal tendencies that I heard at the beginning of this record. And I also, as it got stranger, I was thinking like Asa Chang and Junrei, if anyone knows of that artist. But anyway, I do like to listen to out there music sometimes, so I'll try to give that another listen soon and let it sink in. But the first listen was very intriguing. And next we have the Golden Palominos, Blast of Silence. And that was a 1981 album, and this is was it 1986, I think? Couldn't see on the record. See that? And the only name I recognized on here was Matthew Sweet, but I saw he was only guesting on here. I knew absolutely nothing about this either. I actually, when I first looked it up, I accidentally typed Los Palominos, and I was like, it's not a Latino group. I listened to it, so. But when I first put it on, I was thinking country, but then it got more alternative or pop. Here's the back. And it's still in shrink, if you couldn't tell. So that was from Bruce. Thank you very much. I really appreciated it. I listened to all of them. I hope to listen again. As you saw, I played Sun Ra again. That's obviously my favorite, but the Golden Palominos, I think, is going to be a new favorite. And next, I got records from Maggie, who was purging some of her records because she was she's going to move her music room, and she asked some of us on Facebook if we wanted to take a look, you know. And at first I felt a little guilty about wanting a few records, but then she said it was okay, and I definitely am going to send you something, Maggie. I'm going to start on a mix soon, and if you don't give me your want list, I'll just have to guess what you'd like. I hope to do so in the next month or so. So look forward to that. I saved your address from the box, so yeah. So anyway, the first one I got was Adam's Apple. This one is more typical Wayne Shorter. Like, I obviously am not really, you know, well versed in jazz yet, but it has that same vibe as the other Wayne Shorters I have. Very straightforward. I'm not sure what pressing this was, like maybe mid-2000s. I tried looking it up. And then we have The Soothsayer. I did play this, but I already forgot what it sounded like, but I probably liked it. And again, with the Blue Note label. And I think these were all from the same pressing, same reissues, I mean. And then we have the All-Seeing Eye. Now this one was really out there. I was tripping out. Okay, Genesis. Yeah, at the end of Genesis I heard these, like, it sounded like someone, like, with a deep snore, growl type of sound, and I thought it was one of the instruments, but I'm not well versed in, like, certain instruments, but I saw there's a flugelhorn on here. I just like saying the word flugelhorn. And his brother Alan Shorter is on here, but that was on, I think he's only on the second side. I didn't read all of it, but I did look up a lot about this album at first because I want to know what that sound at the end of the record was. I at first thought, is this just noise on the record? No, it's definitely a growl, snore. So yeah, this was more avant-garde Wayne Shorter. Very trippy stuff. So I would look that up if you want, like, straightforward avant-garde, that type of sound, but not like completely out there, but out there for him. So last, Tudor got me a surprise record. He said it was an Easter gift. I should have guessed on what he was sending just because he's not very subtle about this stuff. And I was really happy to get it, but it was Nick Cave, Henry's Dream. And these reissues are really good. Ignore the bend in the cover. Here's the record. And yeah, download code. And then we have the lyrics. These reissues sound great. If you haven't gotten one of the Nick Cave reissues, I really highly recommend it. As you kind of you probably remember from my one vinyl update a while back, the 4th vinyl update, I did show another one of the Nick Cave reissues, that double one. I always forget the name of it, but you could just rewatch that video. Anyway, I was really happy to get this. It's, Tudor described it as, Gothic, Southern Gothic. And I would agree with that. Actually, I Had a Dream Joe is my favorite one on here. And John Finn's wife was the one that reminded me the most of Tindersticks. I always try to listen for comparisons because a lot of stuff I have heard by Nick Cave that I, you know, heard whole albums of, I would think, oh, Tindersticks, you know. That's why I got that double album, because that was the one that reminded me the most of Tindersticks. So this one follows that same pattern. I forgot when was this album originally? It doesn't say. Anyway, I should have looked that up on Discogs, but thanks again, Tudor. Okay, I completely forgot to show the upgrade record that LJ sent me a while back, so that's why I'm cutting in here with this. He got me Sade, Promise. Now, if you guys remember, he sent me some Sade albums, and the Promise one had a skip in it, and I already knew it had a skip, so no problem. I didn't expect to get another copy, and I kept the note, which is very nice. As you can see, it was shrink wrapped still, with the hype sticker and everything. As everyone was saying, LJ rocks. This is great. A great copy. So, besides that, I should mention that the maple syrup made me salivate more, I think. So if I appear gross at any point in these videos, I apologize, because I didn't want to reshoot the parts where it happened. Too much maple syrup, bad. And I also want to say that I'll get the mix out to VP Will, if you're watching this. I apologize because I promised you a mix a month ago. So when I get this mix finished, I'll send it to you, to Maggie, and to Bruce. And LJ, if you want a copy, probably my music taste isn't your taste or whatever, but if you want a copy, I'll send you one. I don't know if I have your address still. But anyway, take care, VC.